Hello and welcome, I'm Sean Fox, this is Made to Ramble, and we are today on the Treetop Walk in the Valley of the Giants here in southwest Western Australia, not too far from the town of Denmark. That is the town, not the country. Oh, how I wish it were the country. You may have noticed it's a little wet and miserable here today. That's because we have a couple of cyclones apparently converging up north, and we're expecting to see quite a lot of bad weather for the next few days. This is probably not the best place to be in this weather. So you might be asking yourself right now, this treetop walk sounds interesting. Should I go visit? Well, in answer to that question, let me ask you three questions. Do you like trees? Do you like tall trees? And do you like heights? If the answer to all three of those is yes, I must say I was really impressed with how accessible this walk is for people with disabilities. There's only one small section of the total walk that's not wheelchair accessible, and that's a ground section. All of the walkway above ground is totally accessible. The path is a little narrow, but if your wheelchair is too wide, they do offer complimentary wheelchair hire to people with disabilities. The whole thing has just been really well thought out. Lovely pitter-patter of rain on the roof. Here we are at the Big 4 Caravan Park in Denmark. Here on our honeymoon. We got married recently. We are looking at retooling the channel a little bit. It has been quite a while since we posted anything, so because we both work with people with disabilities, we figured maybe we could focus a little bit on access for people with disabilities. Also, maybe talking about the prices of places, entry fees and accommodation. For instance, the Big 4 Caravan Park here cost, how much did it cost?
I think $32 a night.
$32 a night? Well, for those of you who thought Alex was mute, she does actually speak. She just doesn't like the sound of her voice, which I don't understand. I think she's got a lovely voice. If you let her know in the comments below how lovely her voice is. Sounds just like Bobcat Goldthwait. So that pitter-patter of rain only continued to intensify throughout the evening into the night, having some unfortunate results. It turns out that where my dad had installed the roof vent in our ceiling, despite having used an awful lot of silicone, it still managed to leak and flood the van. Hey Dad, how you going? Yeah, not too bad. Looks like we're coming back tomorrow. Well, yeah, that was the thing I was going to tell you. You know how we wanted to see whether or not it was leaking? Yeah, turns out yes, a lot. But the good news about it, though, Dad, you did well in some regards, because my side of the bed was completely dry. Yeah, it was just Alex got up around about 2 o'clock or something, and then spent the whole rest of the night sitting on the bench, unable to sleep while the whole lot was just completely drenched. We had to take off the mattress and everything and put it in front of a fire to try and dry it all out. It was kind of a horrible night, but I had a great sleep, so Well, here we are at the Cascades just outside of Pemberton. The van seems to have dried out now. I think we've got the leaks fixed. Fingers crossed. And the battery seems to be running okay. So we're back out on the road and trying to see what we can see, but we're going to head back tomorrow, unfortunately. So this is our last full day out on our honeymoon. It's a bit sad, really. But anyway, that would be the tram. We are here at the Cascades, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to set up the camera here, take a series of shots rather than using an ND filter on the front of the lens. I'm going to take multiple shots, basically like a time lapse. I'm going to take about 125 shots, and then in Photoshop later I can blend them together and get just the right amount of motion blur on the water here. Alright, so I'm all set up here. What I'm going to do, I'm actually using an 85mm 1.8 here, so a telephoto lens, but that's just because there's kind of a lot of empty water in front of me and I just want to film the actual rapids. So this should look a little bit interesting. I'm at F13, I think I am. Yep, F13, and I'm taking 125 shots here, so it should take about 6 minutes or so. It's not a fast process, but it could be a lot worse. Here we are at Pemberton Pool, here in Pemberton. It's actually pretty cool. Reminds me of all the old 80s camp movies like Meatballs. Doing a lovely tour of Pemberton here. Behind me is the Gloucester Tree. World famous? Might be, I'm not sure. But you can climb it, and lots of people do. You'd have to be fairly brave. I'm not that brave. Well, we really are doing a whirlwind tour of Pemberton today. Here we are at Beedelup Falls. The great thing about all of these places is that they're really easily accessible via car. You can pretty much just drive up into the car park and it's only a short walk, mostly on wheelchair-friendly paths. So really easy to get to, great for families, and you can see a whole bunch of stuff in just one day like we are today. Well, this is our final stop on our tour of Pemberton. This is Big Brook Dam. Absolutely beautiful spot. Couldn't be a more perfect spot to finish the day off. As it turns out, a beautiful day turned into a beautiful night. Here we are in Wellington Dam, which has become a bit of a tourist spot just lately, for reasons that will become pretty obvious. This 8,000 square metre mural, titled Reflections, was painted by Guido van Helten. He slept in a tent on site for more than 130 days while he painted this. I just love the attention to detail here. It looks like aged photos, those washed out colours, all those signs of wear and tear. Just beautiful and so Australian. I can't really imagine the logistics of trying to paint a mural on something this size. I mean, this was all done by one person.